Have you ever had a day where you were doing just fine and then you missed one thing? One walk, one meal you planned to make, one quiet time, and your brain went, well, that's over. And somehow that one missed thing became the reason you stopped the whole routine for the week, maybe longer. If that pattern sounds familiar, you are dealing with something very specific. Self-criticism wearing the costume of motivation. Today, we are talking about self-compassion, and I do not mean the fluffy bubble bath version. I mean the practical skill that actually helps you stay consistent. This episode is hands-on. You will walk away with a few tools you can use the next time you slip, forget, or fall off your routine, so you stop turning a speed bump into a full exit ramp. Now, this is educational and supportive content, not a substitute for professional counseling. Psalm 103, 13-14 says, "As a father has compassion on his children, so the Lord has compassion on those who fear him. For he knows how we are formed. He remembers that we are dust." I love that. God is not surprised that you are human. He remembers you are dust, meaning limited, still being shaped, still in process. And if the creator of the universe factors in your humanity, maybe you could too. So, what is self-compassion really? It is responding to yourself the way God responds to you, truthful and kind at the same time. Dr. Kristen Neff, one of the leading researchers in this area, describes it with 3 parts: self-kindness, common humanity, recognizing that everyone struggles, and mindfulness, which just means seeing what is real without piling on a bunch of extra shame. And here is the part that matters most for consistency. Self-criticism tends to drain your ability to follow through. Self-compassion tends to fuel it. I know, that sounds backwards. So let me show you the research. In 2012, researchers Juliana Biernes and Serena Chen at the University of California, Berkeley published a series of 4 experiments in Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin. They found that when people responded to a personal failure with self-compassion instead of self-esteem boosting or no intervention, they showed greater motivation to improve. In one experiment, participants who practiced self-compassion after failing a test actually spent more time studying for the next one. In another, they reported stronger motivation to change a personal weakness. The researchers concluded, and I am quoting here, that taking an accepting approach to personal failure may make people more motivated to improve themselves. So the very thing you worry will make you soft or complacent? Research suggests it may actually help you bounce back faster. And a large meta-analysis of 56 randomized controlled trials published in Mindfulness in 2023 found that self-compassion interventions produced small to medium reductions in depression, anxiety, and stress. The authors also noted that many of the trials had high overall risk of bias, so we hold that finding with appropriate care. Still, the direction of the evidence is consistent and encouraging. Now, let me name what is happening when you mess up and it feels like everything is ruined. Psychologists call it all or nothing thinking. I think you've probably heard that before. Also known as black and white thinking. It is a common cognitive pattern where something is either perfect or pointless, with zero middle ground. We could even call it a light switch brain. And it has 3 settings. Well, actually, it only thinks it has 2. Setting 1 on. I have done everything perfectly today. I am unstoppable. Setting 2 off. I missed one day. It is all ruined. What is even the point? There's no dimmer. There was no halfway. The light is either blazing or the whole room goes dark. Here is why that is such a problem. A study by Philippa Lally and colleagues at University College London, published in the European Journal of Social Psychology, tracked real people building real habits over 84 days. And they found that missing a single day did not materially affect the habit formation process. One missed day did not erase anyone's progress. So the science says your habit is fine. One missed day is a non-event. And yet the light switch brain insists the whole thing is over, which means the threat to your consistency is rarely the missed day. The real threat is the story you tell yourself about the missed day. And that is exactly where self-compassion changes the game. If you listened to episode 4 way back in October, we talked about the 80-20 approach to break all or nothing thinking at the cognitive level. Today, we are going deeper into what happens emotionally when you slip and how to respond in a way that actually gets you moving again. What your light switch brain needs is a dimmer switch. And these next 3 tools are how you install one. And I chose these specifically because they are not the standard advice you have already heard a dozen times. Tool number 1, track your return rate, not your streak. Streaks feel inspiring right up until they become a fragile identity. You know what I mean. Day 14, day 15, day 16, miss day 17, and suddenly the whole thing feels meaningless. Instead, measure this. How fast did I come back? Consistency is not proven by never slipping. Consistency is proven by returning. So the win becomes how quickly did I get back to one small next step? If you returned in a day, that is excellent consistency, even if the streak counter says 0. What if you started celebrating the return instead of mourning the break? Tool number 2, the 24-hour repair window. When you miss something, instead of punishing yourself or waiting till Monday to start fresh, give yourself a 24-hour window to make one small repair move. 2 minutes is enough. I want to be specific here. I am not talking about doing the whole routine perfectly the next day. I am talking about one physical action that tells your brain, we are still in this. Move your yoga mat from the closet to the floor where you will see it. Set an alarm on your phone labeled 1 glass of water before coffee. Text a friend, hold me to my walk tomorrow. Tape a verse to your bathroom mirror tonight. The point is re-entry, not a lecture. One small action that puts you back in motion. Tool number 3, the redirect script. In episode 48, we talked about filtering your thoughts, asking whether a thought is true, helpful, or just noise. Today, I want to give you something slightly different, a script for what to say to yourself after you may have already slipped. Most of us default to one of 2 places. We go vague and soft, it's fine, don't worry about it, which feels nice and then fades by morning. Or we go specific and harsh. I cannot believe I missed my walk again. I never followed through, which is detailed and completely demoralizing. The redirect script has 3 parts, and you do need all 3. Acknowledge, that was a full day. Identify, I missed my walk. Redirect, tomorrow, alarm set for a walk before I check my email. Acknowledge without identify stays foggy. Identify without acknowledge turns brutal. And without the redirect, you are just sitting in the mess with no way forward. You need all 3. Here's what this looks like in real life. It's bedtime. You realize you forgot your walk. Old response, unbelievable. I never follow through on anything. New response, that was a packed day. I missed my walk. Tomorrow I am setting my alarm and I'm going before I check my phone. That is self-compassion with direction. It is warm and it moves you forward. Your next best step today, pick the one tool that fits where you are right now. If you're a data person, start tracking your return rate instead of your streak. If you slipped recently and need to get back in motion, use the 24-hour repair window. One small action, 2 minutes is enough. And if you're not sure where to start, here is the simplest one. The next time you hear that harsh voice, replace whatever it says with, "This is hard, I am learning." That is it. One sentence. And say it like you would say it to someone you love. If you have been stuck in the stop-start cycle, here is what I want you to hear today. You do not need a perfect streak. You need a faithful, steady return. And God already knows that. Psalm 103 says, He remembers you are dust. That is not an insult. That is the most compassionate thing anyone has ever said about you.